This right here is the Doogee S98 Pro, and this is by far the most interesting smartphone that I've ever used. It is a rather rugged, very heavy smartphone that actually has some pretty decent specifications. This right here is the phone that I use most often. This is the Google Pixel 6. I love it for the most part. It has a wonderful camera, good battery life, it's lightweight, and I've had no significant issues with it. I can probably pull off the sticker now. Being that I'm used to using this phone, how was my experience with this guy? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video, but first, we have to give, of course, a general overview of what this phone offers. So first of all, the company touts that this is an alien-inspired design. It even says on their website the camera bump serves as the alien's head. This right here in the middle is actually a thermal imaging camera that allows you to see creatures and objects by their heat signatures, even in pitch darkness, which it actually works, and we're going to be getting into that in just a minute. Now, I did a full unboxing on my second channel, go check it out, and it does come with screen protectors. It came with this little, it's not really a case, it's more of a corner protector. First, we have a little spot for a fingerprint reader. We have a button right here which acts as our power on and power off, or turning off and on our screen. Volume up and down buttons. The whole build of the phone is incredibly industrious. And then flipping it over to the other side, we actually have a TF and SIM card tray here, which this can hold up to 2 SIM cards and a micro SD card. And then right below that, this with a little rigid texture, we have a custom button that you can program to do basically whatever you would like. On the bottom here, we have a USB-C port, and it's kind of cool because it's actually integrated with this little protector here that you have to pop open to access it, which adds additional protection from dirt, dust, moisture, whatever it may be. And then of course we have the battery in this guy, which is a 6,000 milliamp battery. It ships with a 33 watt fast charger that can charge the thing up in roughly 2 hours. And it does support wireless charging, and this can be demonstrated thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Ampere, and their Unravel wireless charger. This is it right here. It is powerful, portable, and versatile. The whole thing pulls 30 watts, but it has 3 separate 10-watt charging pads. This is it right here. You could put 3 different devices on it. You can fold it up like this, pop one device in it to charge one thing at a time. All 3 pads have anti-slip rings, and some of them have little phone stands included, and it's all magnetic, so you can actually put it into this little triangle shape here, set your phone on it for a kind of theater display type setup while your phone charges wirelessly. And it supports numerous devices, various smartphones like the Doogee here, my Google phone, Apple Watches, iPhones, whatever charges wirelessly should work with this guy right here. It has LED indicators on each charging pad to let you know the status of whether if it's charging or the charge is complete. In addition, they have a ton of other cool products, such as their little 65 watt DP adapter here. And if you're interested in trying out this wireless charging pad, there of course will be links down below. And they have other cool things like carrying cases and whatever you need. Check out their website. For the camera, we have a 48 megapixel regular Sony camera, we have the thermal imaging camera, and we actually have a 20 megapixel night vision camera. And on the front here, this is a 16 megapixel selfie camera. The processor in this guy is pretty powerful. It is a octa-core with an average clock of about 2.05 gigahertz. And that is accompanied with 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 256 gigabyte UFS 2.2 ROM hard drive, and a ARM Mali G57 MC2 GPU. This thing does ship with Android 12 out of the box, and this company's been around for quite a bit, and they do have a number of cell phones, so getting updates shouldn't be an issue. I know I've already gotten 2 so far. Now for the display on this thing, we have a 6.3-inch FHD water drop display with an aspect ratio of 19:9. Supports 16.7 million colors with a peak brightness of 500 nits. And cool thing about this is it does ship with a screen protector pre-installed, which I do always appreciate. Now this thing is marketed to be the outdoor man's best friend, and I do have to say it is definitely up there when it comes to the build quality and all that. But how did I experience using it over the last 2-3 weeks or so when I was actually using it full time? Overall, the experience was good. The main problem with this thing to me is it's almost a little too rugged, and by that I mean it is built with really strong metal, thus it is pretty heavy. Now I'll go ahead and put the actual weights on screen, but this is probably at least twice as heavy as the Google phone right here. And it took me a long time to get used to it, whipping it out, not accidentally like throwing it and whatnot, which isn't too bad because it's, if you do accidentally throw it, it's probably going to be fine. I dropped it numerous times in my times using it, mostly because I'm not used to the weight of the thing. And it survived pretty well. There's no big scratches, scrapes, or anything like that. There's some scuffs, but it's because it's on the screen protector and not the actual screen. Now, when it comes to actual performance of this guy, it is pretty nice. It's not $1,000 phone, so you're not going to be completely have your mind blown, but for what it is and the price point it's at, it's perfect. Scrolling through social media is completely fine. No big lags or major stutters throughout the process. I went ahead and loaded up some Call of Duty Mobile, and overall the experience was magnificent. Again, no major lags, no major stutters, and the loading screens and all that were as they should be. Probably the application I use the absolute most is YouTube, and you can see here is just smooth scroll. You could go through everything with no problem. And loading up a video, for example, this is the pie hole video. Everything's super quick. And this is a good mic, so we can kind of test the audio here. What we all use to quickly connect to various websites, and it's not the best speaker in the world, but it's not some tin can that you would get off of like some cheap $100 phone. Now, the main selling point of this phone is the cameras and what they can do. When it comes to outdoor photography with good lighting, the camera is phenomenal. I went ahead, took a walk around my university campus and took some pictures, and generally they're all super crisp. Even pictures on things up close turned out very well. You're getting what you pay for, which isn't the best camera in the world. If you zoom in a little bit too much, you get some artifacting, things like that, but nothing you wouldn't expect out of a camera like this. So the overall quality was good, but just some of the colors didn't come out very well. And for example, I have a picture of this flower here. Putting it side by side with the Pixel, which is known for having a really good camera, you could see some of the differences. And honestly, the Pixel in that part actually didn't do a very good job either, as it is way too warm for the environment that we were actually in. Now, the video quality is pretty good. I'm going to play 2 clips for you with some audio and all that from the main back camera.
And this is recording from the main camera as well as how the audio sounds from me behind it.
And then here is me quickly using the selfie camera.
Of the selfie camera video as well as the audio quality.
Now, probably the most impressive thing with this phone is the built-in thermal camera. As for the specs, the resolution is 256 by 192. It has a 25 Hz refresh rate and has a temperature range from -15 to 550 degrees Celsius. And it says here on their website that the accuracy is ±2 degrees Celsius, which I actually did find accurate as I checked it out in my initial unboxing video on the other channel. So this is me opening up the thermal camera. We can see my actual camera there. And wherever you point the center crosshair, it's going to give you a pretty accurate reading of what your temperatures are. So you can see right there, my little dock is a little toasty at 42 degrees Celsius. This Mac is doing pretty good when it comes to the heat. We get coming a little closer here. We can see it is also around 40 degrees Celsius. Something like my hand here, if I bring that in, you can see that. Overall, it just does a really good job detecting heat. Like my dog is right there. She's looking a little toasty. And like, for example, if I go down here, there's all kinds of settings and options. So you could change what the actual colors look like. If we go over here, we have some settings. So you could change like the temperature unit for me, Fahrenheit, AKA American. Gives me a better idea of what the actual temperatures are. And then of course here you could take pictures and whatnot. So if I snapped this picture of that dock, it'd go ahead and process the image, and there we go. So definitely a really handy feature if it's something you need. I didn't think I had uses for it, but with my job and what I do, it's actually cool to be able to give a statistic of how hot electronics and all that got. But if you have a use case for this, that is a remarkable tool, and it could probably save you a couple $100 getting an actual thermal camera if you just want to use this phone instead. Now, in addition to that, you saw in system, we have a lot of applications here. Most of this stuff I'm not going to use. Threw in a folder just so I can kind of show you all what's in here. We have Easy Launcher, which is kind of cool. It'll open up basically a old person friendly launcher. So here we go. You got your phone, your texting, your camera, and that's about it. You can add your contacts and shortcuts there. And you could set that as the default too. If you go to settings, we could exit to the desktop, which will take us back to this. We have game space, children's space, and a couple other own things. Outdoor toolbox is one of them. And this will give you just basic stuff: compass, finder, magnifier, alarm bell, noise test, pedometer, protractor, which I mean, this is kind of cool. If we go ahead and like line it up to this Mac, we can try to get like a a perfect 90-degree angle here. So it's probably not going to be perfect, but if you're like working construction or something, you just need something to get like a really rough estimate, this could be a decent tool for you, if you know what I mean. And of course, there's the night vision camera, and it works pretty good. I don't have any on the phone right now, but I'll take some pictures tonight. I did use it when I was using this full time, and it works pretty good. I do like the ability to be able to do that. And at least on their website, they advertise it for hunters and people like that. Overall, this is a really cool phone, and if you are in this price range, I think this is about $400 or so. I'll leave more accurate information right here. But if that's the price range you're looking for a rugged smartphone and you do not care about the weight, it's a good choice. For me, I'm more of a fan of thin, lightweight phones like this, but I can definitely see the use case for this. And if you are interested, I'll leave links down below, as well as links to the sponsor of today's video. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. I appreciate it. With all that, I do hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and goodbye.